Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's happening, guys? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. I think we're streaming. We're live on YouTube. Okay. I'll wait as we get some more stragglers coming into the stream. Okay. Perfect. What's happening, traders? Welcome to another live trading session. It's Manuel from Live Free Effects, and today we are in the charts. Taking a look at gold as usual. It is currently 7:32. We're coming into the New York session kill zone. We're seeing what the market has in store for us today. Yeah, the first 30 minutes today is going to be mapping out, what price is currently doing right now. And then we're going to be going into the New York session at 8, looking for an execution. And yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you guys can hear me okay. If you can see me all right. And then I will proceed as we start to get some more people. Okay. Hey, Dennis, good morning. Hey, good morning, good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon. Okay. So, yeah, let's jump into things. Let's dive straight into it. Taking a look at gold right now, one of the main things that we're going to be taking a look at is the weekly time frame. Gold has been making all-time highs, and as you know, gold is a safe haven. So if you are taking a look at the market, trading gold, that's something to keep in mind when there is uncertainty globally that's currently taking place. It's going to have a significant impact in the gold market. So as a result of that, gold has been pushing up significantly for the last couple of months, making new all-time highs. And right now we have our latest all-time high, currently set at 3382, right? So right here, as we scale down to a lower time frame, we might be able to create more precision. But at the same time, we can always look at this candlestick here and get that high. So right there, this is the highest point of it was, okay, 4119, right? So here it's 4382. So it's slightly less, but right here is our current all-time high on gold. On the weekly time frame, we're kind of playing within this range. On the daily, we'll be able to see a bit more of what took place. Yesterday, we were talking a little bit about this level right here, because based on the buyer and seller concept, when you come into the market, you see price essentially take out the low. You have to anticipate that there is going to be, the market's going to move to the downside, right? Part of our goal as a trader is not to predict, it is to anticipate. So if you are following market structure, right, when price takes out the low, it likely continues to move to the downside. And right now, buyers have been dominant for quite a significant amount of time. And, we've just seen, sellers take out this low right here. But overall, in addition to that, now we are seeing the market make high highs, higher lows, and high highs. So based off of that, momentum right now isn't exactly flowing to the downside, at least on the daily time frame just yet, to complete this potential bearish decline if price has any inclination to move lower. What we do have right now is a bit of that continuation, right, with high highs, high lows. So we're going to place our lows right here. These are going to be the area of liquidity. If sellers want to dominate, they're going to reach for that. We also have this new low that was established yesterday. Also, guys, let me know if you can hear me clean and clear. If you can hear me okay. That way I don't. There we go. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me okay on your end. If everything's good, Dennis, let me know. But yes, outside of that, we are currently in a position where price could continue moving to the upside, right? So right now we have this area of liquidity that we can likely see price reach for, right? Since the market right now is making high highs and higher lows, right? These are the little details. So as we scale down to the 4-hour time frame, yesterday was a clean and profitable day. We came into the market, and patience was the name of the game. We waited patiently for our execution, and I saw a lot of you guys, took the same trade. I think I closed out at about 130 pep. Right, some of you guys, went as far as what, like 200, right? 200 pep. Some of you guys 160. So it was quite nice, to see that and to get that perspective. But today we're going to be doing the exact same thing. We're going to be focused on being as patient as possible, right? So one of the main targets that we were talking about yesterday, price is currently right there. But before we jump there, let's not jump the gun here. So paying attention to what the market is currently doing. Overall here, we have this accumulation zone right here. So we have our accumulation zone right here. So price spent a lot of time accumulating. And when the market does that, this becomes an interesting area. This becomes resistance, right? Like, I know some people might say, okay, yeah, it's support, but like support, resistance, it's the same thing. It's going to be an area where if the market trades down, it's going to have a difficult time continuing moving to the downside, because there was a lot of orders that was accumulated at this particular phase. That's why the accumulation and distribution strategy is such an effective one. So we saw the market bounce out of this level, and yesterday one of the main areas, one of our main targets, was right here. Silver Grid had a more optimistic target, which we are still aiming for. If you're on the call here, did you holding your trade still? It was 41.40, right? So that would kind of be just slightly past the center of this fair value gap that we have here. And if price does end up reaching into this level, great. But right now we have grabbed the liquidity here. So the next area of liquidity on the 4-hour time frame is technically going to be right here. But the market, we're going to see how the market responds, because this is a large candlestick, right? So this is a large candlestick. We could see some sort of pullback. We could see the market respect this candle before continuing its push to the upside, unless buyers are willing to come in with the same momentum that sellers came in with here. So it's going to be a little bit of a cautious one, but we'll see. Going over to the 1-hour time frame, we're seeing very clean market structure. The market is making really smooth high highs and high lows. This is a classic trending market. This is exactly what you want to see. But once again, November hasn't been as smooth as October in terms of market conditions. We've been seeing a bit more of a choppier market. So given the condition, we've been more patient, waiting, for extra confirmation before we jump into a trade. So taking a look at the hourly time frame here, the market is making high highs and high lows. It's pretty clean. It's pretty clear. Now, we can map out some areas of interest that if buyers continue to dominate, they could reach for. And off of what we see right now, this could be an area of interest that price absolutely reaches for, which is slightly past 41.40. It would be 41.45, right? I think this could be an area where if the market trades into, great, we could see some strong push to the upside here. Now, as we scale down to the 15-minute time frame, we're going to be using some extra confluences, and that is going to be the London high and the London low. So right here, this is going to be our London low, right? The London session was bullish. So this means that there's a good chance that the New York session could be bullish as well. It doesn't always mean that, but the market will always move to the area of least resistance, right? So right now, the London session moved up quite significantly, and my guess is probably going to be this is about 400 pep in one session, and this took place in 2 hours. So gold right now is really, really volatile. But not just volatile where it's not respecting, as you can see, it's still respecting market structure. There's just a lot of liquidity in this current market right now. And to me, that's a good thing. But at the same time, it also is extremely important when you're coming into this market to manage your risk extremely well. That is the most important thing. You can make a lot of money in this market, but you can also lose a lot of money, right? So don't get overly excited about how liquid it is. Just ensure and make sure that as you take your trades, you're using stop loss, right? If you can't trade this market without a stop loss, it's not going to happen. So right now with gold, we're seeing a very standard thing right now. Market consolidates or accumulates, right? And then we get that big push to the upside. So that's kind of what took place during the London session. All right, we have the London low right here. And this was an area of liquidity that we had mapped out previously. That price was going to be reaching for yesterday, but we took, at least I got out of the market, much before that. So today now, we're scaling down to the hourly time frame. And what we're seeing here, we're going to map out the highest point. So this is the highest point right here. Okay, cool. Highest candle, and we're going to keep it very smooth here. This is going to be our lowest point as well. So this is the 1 minute time frame. We're going to be using this as a potential execution point. Alternatively, I could probably do something just to be a little bit extra, is giving the market a bit more room. So right here, this is an accumulation zone that we have here, guys. So right here, the market is kind of since the London session, right, ended at about 5, the London kill zone, because now we're in the New York kill zone. The London kill zone was at 2 to 5. So that ended, right? And you can see since it ended, the market has been moving, sideways for quite some time now. So overall, personally, I think I'm going to be, sitting on the sidelines and watching and waiting. But we have this accumulation zone set right here. It's not as clean, but we're going to be waiting to see if the market is going to be breaking above this range. If it does it in a clean candlestick, breaks up, boom, we're going to get involved in a buy trade with the anticipation that the market is going to either trade up towards 41.40 or towards the next resistance point, which would be 41.45, and the next area of liquidity as well. So right now, this is going to be the major play. If we get sellers take out this low, right, or maybe they want to trade further down into this range, cool. I'm probably not going to be selling today. Just the simple fact that there's really no major targets to the downside, and price will always move to the area of least resistance. And right now, least resistance is kind of like, moving up a little bit. So I think we could get a little bit more, into this range and into this 4-hour fair value gap. So that's what I'm going to be, setting up for. I'm going to open my MT4 here and just kind of get myself situated in case I can, squeeze in a trade. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay. Place my face right there. There you go. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you guys have any questions. Silver Grid, good morning. You still holding your position from yesterday? So I'm just gonna set everything up right now, and then see if the market is, what price is going to do. So overall, right there. Let's see. So once again, just to give you a quick breakdown in terms of how I am going to make this play and get involved in this trade, we have essentially set our game plan. We've done our analysis based on our technical breakdown. Buyers are currently in control, right? We've scaled down to the lower time frame here, and on the hourly time, on the 1 minute time frame, which we're currently on, if we are able to get a little bit of a push to the upside, boom, right? I'll take an execution. I'll get involved in the buy, and see. But in the meantime, we are going to focus on our execution, and we're just gonna camp, right? We're hunters, and we're gonna hunt, right? We're not gonna be a prey. We're not gonna be reactive. We're gonna wait for the market to make the first move, and the first move right now is for price to kind of get out of the zone. But what I do love right now is the fact that the market has made multiple, high highs and high low structure, which is very, very good right here. And yeah, okay. We're seeing a little bit of that push, guys. So I might be getting involved in a buy right now. I just want to see if we can get a nice clean close, above this level. And that's going to be it. It's not 8 o'clock yet, so it's still very early to be taking, an execution. I wouldn't say very early, but it's generally, 8 o'clock as we get closer to it, it's slightly better. Yesterday we had a bit more, we had a little bit of an issue with our Forex Factory. I think the world's internet was down, but Live for FX website was still up. So here today, coming into the market, we have FOMC today at 2 p.m. So two things can happen. The market could stall a little bit more during the New York session, or we could see a little bit of movement. But in terms of now, 8 a.m., right, to like to 10 to like the kill zone's over, there's really not much, that we have to worry about. So right now, we're seeing price really set up here, and I'm kind of getting tempted to go in on a buy. I just want to see if we can get a nice clean close above this high, just to be a little bit more on the cautious side. And I'm hoping it's not a big jump or a big push to the upside here. Silver grid, okay, my TP's around 41.40, beautiful. Yeah, so definitely a swing trade at this point in time. From when we took our trade yesterday, that was I was screaming because it was like 800 pips, right? It was 800 pips to the upside. So, I mean, even with one standard lot, that would be like 8,000, if not like 9,000. Now talk like with two, with three, like so it's crazy. Yeah, so it's a pretty big position, right? I use high time frame TP. There's a 4 hour fair value gap. Okay, that's been my target. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's why. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Sometimes it's important to hold your runners. Right. Get a runner in and you hold it. Yesterday I had a little bit of a runner, but I closed out. I closed out relatively quickly, but I was happy with it. I was very, very happy with it. And I think that's the most important thing. When you come to the market, any day you make a profit, whether you take $1, whether you take $2, that's something to be proud of. I think progress for me in my trading journey was I was losing consistently, and then I started to break even. That was like, whoa, you're not losing every single trade, right? You're not losing every single trade anymore, and that felt really nice. So, it's really nice to be able to come in and take something, whatever that is. I'm happy with it as long as we hit our target. So right now the market is stalling a little bit. This is an area of liquidity that we want to see price hit, and I want to see a little bit of a close. But the thing is, if the market is going to turn around and drop down, with a huge bearish momentum, we don't want to get caught in this because right now we are at an area where it's like prices telling you buy, 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 buy. And kind of like yesterday, right? We could get involved and deal with price wanting to grab liquidity here, liquidity here. So it's not worth it in my opinion. So personally for me, I'm going to be sitting on the sidelines here. Let sellers make their move, right? Because if you want to be a buyer, you kind of want premium price, right? And premium price is sellers moving in the opposite direction, right? Or moving further down, maybe giving you a lower opportunity to kind of manage your risk. But for me, what this represents is if sellers fail to dominate, to dominate, and to continue to move lower, and buyers come in, that reveals the market's true intention. That we want to be a buyer, yes, but we're letting sellers have their way, right? And sellers are playing right now and pushing price lower. It doesn't mean sell. It just means they might want to grab liquidity here. They might want to grab liquidity here. And if buyers are able to return that momentum and come back up here, that's a clean, that's a clean buy, right? Or at least that's as best as you can execute, a buy trade. But in the meantime, we're gonna be sitting on the sidelines here, and we're gonna be waiting and seeing what the market has in store. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah. So far it's a bullish day. Yes. The stream. For those of you asking on YouTube, yes, it will stay up afterwards. After the stream is over. I think last week's stream was very. It lagged a lot. I was streaming for the first time in a while. I did a few live stream on YouTube before, but yeah, I was streaming for the first time in a while, so it did not go well. But yesterday, last night, I had my stream developer kind of hop in the call with me and just kind of help me set everything up. So yeah, so if this is clean, clear, it will definitely be up afterwards every Wednesday. There will be some sort of stream going on here. Okay. So right now, it's a good thing we didn't get the bait. We didn't get caught in that move. So right now, there's no buy. There's nothing happening. We're still camping, and we're still waiting. We're gonna let the market do what it wants to do. So kind of like what I talked about here. If buyers decide that okay, sellers have grabbed enough liquidity and they want to come back up and they want to push price up here, that's going to give us a strong confirmation to really jump in and to really get involved in a buy trade. And that's exactly what we want. As we start to approach the 8 a.m. mark, we're likely going to see even more liquidity, coming into the market. So, right now we are in this accumulation zone. So we're going to map this out. This is going to be a classic accumulation. So could be an accumulation and distribution setup, but what I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to be waiting for the retest. What I will be doing personally is if the market breaks up into this range, and slightly, I'm going to say right here, we can get a nice slight close above, I'm going to be looking for a buy trade. So we've just grabbed the liquidity here right now, right? As we kind of anticipated here, sellers grabbed it. Now, if buyers want to come in, this is your opportunity to show that, hey, they want to dominate, they want to move price to the upside, and then continue to make their push. Continue to make their push. So personally for me, this is how I'm going to play it. And yeah, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you guys have any questions whatsoever. And hopefully your week has been a good one so far. This week has been a very profitable week. Monday was a profitable day. Yesterday was our first live session of the week, and it was a beautiful runner. So let's see if today, can continue. We can continue that streak, and let's see what tomorrow brings as well. But Regardless of outcome, all right, your most important thing is coming into the market and executing your game plan as much as possible, and just leave the rest up to the market gods. Okay. Trading gold on Wednesday, it's got a hit or miss from my experience, especially on FOMC. I have blown a lot of accounts in Wednesdays in the past. Yeah, totally understandable, right? The market, every week you come into the market, or every day you come into the market, there's going to be high probability days and there are going to be low probability days. You have um, Monday, which is generally a low probability day, but it's a hit or miss. The highest probability days are in the middle of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Those are the days where you're likely going to see a lot of volume, a lot of momentum, right? A lot of liquidity flowing into the market. Um, Friday is more of a choppier day, and that is yeah, that's something to be mindful of. It's also, if you've had a profitable week, it doesn't make any sense for you to be in the market on Friday, personally for me, because the weekend pain that you deal with sucks, right? When you have a losing day on Friday, trying to come into the market, you want to come into the market afterwards, right? And you can't. You got to come back 2, 3 days. So it's kind of on your mind. So for me, I rarely trade on Fridays, especially if I am having a good week. If I'm having a winning week, I would try to refrain from trading Fridays. But Wednesday is certainly a high probability day. FOMC, of course, sometimes depending on how impactful FOMC is going to be, because not every single time it is impactful. If it is going to be very impactful, then you will likely see the market stall, right? And consolidate, don't do a whole lot. But if FOMC is not going to do that, then you can get a little bit of a runner. Yeah, so at the same time, too, we're not looking for much. If we can get a little bit, whether it's anywhere between 60, 30, 60, 40 pep to the upside, which the market currently is capable of giving, even regardless of FOMC. This range right here is about 70 pep, right? So we should still be able to do something. So let's take a look here. Okay, from the UK, this is my first live stream on YouTube. What's your basic strategy and time frame you work from? Our strategy works on all time frame, but our execution time frame is 1 minute, 5 minute, because we're trading gold, and we use those time frames to minimize our entries, right? Because if you're trading gold on the 15-minute time frame, your stop loss is going to be crazy. So for the sake of that, I use the 1 minute time frame. Okay, so right now we're just watching. We are watching and seeing what the market has in store for us. And let's see. So this right now is our accumulation zone. And depending on what happens here, yeah, I think the market running right now. London session is getting it pretty good. Like they've been having some pretty solid runs. So today's London session, we saw the market from, it was a little bit choppy from 2 a.m., 2:30, right, till about 3, and then we started to see that push up. So this is the London kill zone right here, right? So from about 2 to 3, right, you get premium price, and you start to see the market rally. So right now we're seeing a little bit of a break to the downside, guys. We're seeing, potentially, it looks like more sellers want to come into the market. But for me today, I'm not exactly, I'm not exactly looking for sells. We could see price maybe want to trade back into this accumulation zone that was set up in the London session. Right, so give us that little pullback, especially if the Asian session was also bullish as well. That sometimes happens where if London is bullish and Asia is also bullish, this would count as our Asian right here, Tuesday. Yeah, so this would be the Asian low. All right, so this would be the Asian low, push to the upside. Yeah, London's been good the last few months. It's been silver grade. Do you trade London as well? Because then the question is, when do you sleep, my brother? When do you sleep? Um, Sometimes. Yeah, there's. I haven't traded London. I mean, when I was in Europe, I had the opportunity to do that, but I couldn't. To me, I couldn't. I just enjoy doing other things in the morning, because I kind of created a little bit of a routine for myself. Because being in there like 8 a.m., I think 8 a.m. in Malta is 7 a.m. is like it kind of like the start of the London session. So it worked. It worked pretty well, but yeah, I couldn't do it. I wanted to stick to the New York sessions as much as possible. But yeah, London has been good. London has been good. Like October, New York was crazy. It was beautiful, right? And I think every single month when you come to the market, liquidity will distribute differently, right? Um, and like that's something that we've observed because we see that we see months where it's like the market is moving really really well. There is a lot of liquidity flowing, and it's not what you see is what you get, right? Price breaks the market structure, it continues moving up because gold respects market structure really well. But lately, with September or November, it's been slightly, slightly on the different side. So even right here now, we're gonna play things a little bit more on the cautious side. We have the market making a little bit of a lower low, all right, lower highs, lower low, which means that momentum is to the downside. So if we want to be a buyer, we cannot buy, right now because momentum is very strong to the downside. As long as we have market structure, that's really it. This is my first year full-time trading a silver grade, so I have time to study and trade. I don't trade all sessions though. Absolutely. Well, first of all, congratulations on that silver grid. It's yeah, you post a lot of the work and even the trades that you posted yesterday. So it's not an easy thing to accomplish. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay dedicated. Continue to focus on your execution, and that's it. That's it. So right now, the market is in this accumulation phase, right? Whether we're going to be breaking, we're not doing anything while the market is in this phase. We're not doing anything while the market is in this stage. We're just going to be camping. We're just going to be waiting. If price gives us that opportunity, great. If it doesn't, cool. It's already 8:05, so there should be some liquidity flowing into the market if at any point in time now. But if sellers do end up dominating, right, we're going to reach for this low. If we take out this low at, I think for me, I might consider sells under the circumstances of us breaking below 41.06 and then trading back into the zone. Those are the only ways that I will consider getting involved in any sort of sells. So if we can see the market break, down here, give a nice pull back up, then I'm going to look for a sell. Otherwise, I'm just going to watch, observe, but because I genuinely think that we might want to see a little bit of that reset from the London session, and the market may want to trade back, into this level, right here. Give a little bit of that pullback, but let's see what price is doing here. So right now we're seeing price break out of this zone here. And we're going to map this out right there. So this is the first candlestick, and I could put a sell in right now, but personally for me, yeah, 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 I would rather wait. I would rather wait because this entire zone this entire zone could be classified as its own accumulation zone as well, right? So right here, we can classify this as one big accumulation zone, right? Depending on what the market does, right? Because this is a range. The market is stuck in this range, so we can't just sell yet. So yeah, this is pretty much it. We'll watch, we'll wait. That's a big part of your trading. You know, just giving yourself a little bit of time to get a feel for what price wants to do, and sometimes it sucks. But I think once I understand that the market is, the market condition during this time is a little questionable. It's not as honest as we would like it to be. It's easier to be patient because you made those observations. But when the market is moving and it's showing you that you get a market structure break, boom, by 8 o'clock, half the time we're done our trade. But lately, things are a little bit different where we have to take extra measures to make sure that we're not just buying, and then the market, coming back down, and we're selling and the market going back up. So we need as clear of a confirmation to make sure that we're not putting our capital in a tricky position here. Okay. Now, what is the ticker for you? Where you're trading? Okay. Good afternoon from the UK. This is my first time. Okay, answer that. Futures market is open. Yeah. How do you stay patient without getting in early when your setup is not aligned? Well, I've focused on my execution, right? I think here that's the main thing that we focus on. So if you have a setup that you understand and you've collected enough sample on, you have to wait for your setup to align, right? So it's easy. It's easy to stay patient when your setup is actually not aligned because you know what you're looking for, right? But sometimes it could be difficult, right? No doubt. Sometimes it could be difficult, and sometimes I think for me, rather than being impatient, I am more aggressive because those are the two states that I will be in. Either I'm aggressive or I'm conservative, right? And based on the current market condition, I might trust price more, and I can be more aggressive when I trust price more. And when I don't trust the market more, I'm more conservative. So that's usually the kind of two state that I'm in, when I'm trading. So how do you stay patient? It's by creating clarity, knowing what confirmation you would need to see in the market, right? In this particular case, right here, if we want to be a buyer, if we want to be a seller, a clean candlestick close. I think the market is going to be trading out of this range personally, but I think it's important that we wait for clear confirmation, right? So we've traded out of this range right now. If we can close out of this range, and candlestick trades, back in here, perfect. So right now we've just seen that happen. So we've seen the market trade out of this range, and now I think we're going to be moving lower to the sell side, right? So this is pretty much it. So right now this accumulation zone has broken to the downside. This is going to be classified as first distribution, And what we basically need to see here is a little bit of a pullback, and maybe the market grab buyers maybe want to grab some liquidity to the upside here. And then, yeah, so now we're going to be treating this as an accumulation and distribution break to the downside. Price has revealed that it wants to continue its move to the downside, unless it's one of those days where it grabs the low and then it also grabs the high as well, right? But this is a pretty respectable accumulation zone. So now, I wouldn't mind. I'm not too eager to get involved, but I want to wait and see if we can get a little bit of that push, a little bit of that push up, and see if that's an opportunity that I can definitely take advantage of. But so far, right here, this is going to be classified So for those of you who don't know accumulation and distribution, this is, check out some of the videos. It's one of our bread and butter strategies that we utilize, accumulation, first distribution. Yeah, it's that we utilize here. And that I don't have a whole lot of strategy that I rotate. I just have a few that I execute on precisely. And yeah, so right now we've seen liquidity, from this zone get taken, and this low has been breached. And now my anticipation is we're going to be seeing a pullback to the upside. And as we get that pullback, I'm going to be waiting for the bullish momentum to die down. We could see a bit more of that, whether, these are some areas of liquidity that price could possibly reach for. And yeah, so buyers could definitely, try to grab these areas of liquidity here. But I'm not going to be going in on a buy as of right now, because we don't have, the market is telling us to do the opposite. So right now we have a clear sell signal. And if I wanted to be aggressive, I could probably go in on this trade and sell. But truthfully, for me right now, I don't exactly, I'm not too confident on this. Dennis, on 4 hour, it looks like it's a correction. Yes, so on the 4 hour time frame here, right, it looks like it's a correction, but keep in mind, on the 4 hour time frame, we have just hit this major fair value gap, which is a massive bearish candle. When this happened, this was about over 1,200 pips to the downside, right? So that's why yesterday I talked about 41.11, being a major target for us, right? Because after the market takes out this area of liquidity right here, there is likely going to be a correction that takes place, or even possibly a change in the overall market direction. And right now, that's kind of what we could possibly be seeing. And so far, price gave a little bit of that pullback. Let's see here. So this is looking pretty decent. This is a retest. Not my favorite type of retest, but it's good. It's pretty good. Like this, the market retest the zone, and now we're seeing a little bit of a push. Ideally, we wanted to see if we could get a push to the upside, but we may not do that. We may just see sellers just continue to dominate right now. And this is the first. Yeah, I was looking for a little bit of a deeper pullback, but I'm going to see if what we can. Yeah, because right now with this type of market, timing is very, very important, and getting involved in a trade and having it run is crucial. So if we get involved in this sell trade right here, yeah, we can place a stop loss in this range, and hopefully, yeah, so I might go in on a sell now, and right there, see if we could place our stop loss a little bit. So right there, we're seeing a little bit of that. Okay. Okay. So guys, I'm thinking I'm going to take this sell, because we've already tested that accumulation zone. I'm going to give it a little bit I'm just gonna give it a little bit to see how this candlestick responds. If this is one massive candle, if we are able to get, ideally, I would love to see that retest come back in. And if that's what we're gonna see, great. If not, beautiful. So just hold on. I'm gonna be watching and waiting right now. But if we can get a little bit of a push to the downside, that would be great. But right now, sellers are trying to continue that push, and buyers are coming in right now. So this is the heat of the moment. This is where you're about to pull the trigger. And for me personally, I think, yeah, if we can get a little bit, either a little bit of a close down here, even just like a break down here, I'm going to go in on my sell trade. Because two things can either happen in this market condition right now, guys. We can either see a full-on retest where, buyers actually retest the zone, or this could also classify and count as a retest, and we could see price continue that move. So if price fails to get back into the zone and we start to see more sellers come back in, to me, that's going to signify that there is an inclination for more sellers to come into the market, and I am going to look for a sell trade right here and see what we can likely target. So right now, yeah, that's likely what my brain is thinking, because we may not get the full on pullback. We could just see that lower low, lower high, lower low, and lower high continue. So right now we're waiting a little bit, and we're seeing what the market has, in store here, and we're gonna go, from here. So in the meantime, it's going to be a waiting game, and that to me is the most important thing here. Okay. Okay. So give it a little bit of time. If we can close a little bit bearish down to 41.01. Yeah, I will look to get involved. But in the meantime, it's just a waiting game. But this is where it's like 2 point in your trading process where you're going to really feel a lot of tension. I think right now I'm gonna go in on the sell, guys. Let's see here if we can get that. Just want to see if we can follow through. Okay. And I think, okay, so I'm in on my sell. Yeah, let's let's see. So wait a little bit here. We're seeing the market kind of push up, push down. I want to see if we do get that retest, cool. Then I'll just be damn, So it didn't exactly close. Okay, so short. Yeah, if the market is going to take me out and retest into the zone, that's gonna suck. But here, I got involved on this sell in anticipation that the market is going to continue moving lower. So first execution is pretty much all set. If the market retests back into the zone, then I'm gonna close this first trade as a loss, and that is going to be, pretty much it for me. So yeah, right there, I think I'm likely gonna be taking my L, and booyah, down. Okay, so got taken out there. Quick one. Market didn't continue. I could have waited for a little bit of a close, and I took my loss here. So right now we're seeing a little bit of that retest here, and first execution here sucks, but let's see if we can get a little bit of that retest back. If the market does drop down, great, but waited patiently for it, and probably could have done with a little bit of that candlestick close but I think the market wanted to get a clean pullback into this range, and I could have just been a little bit more patient on there. But overall, we are retesting the zone. If the market wants to continue moving lower, great. We're going to see a bit of that push to the downside. I'm going to take a quick screenshot here. Let's see. So I'm going to take a quick screenshot. And now we're seeing a bit of that bullish momentum. So what I did with that first trade is I was classifying this as my first, as the retest. So I was looking at this zone as a retest, and yeah. So now I'm out of the trade. Took my, got out of it. There we go. That took my loss there. I'm out. And now if the market is going to run, then we'll see. So we got 2 more trades in the chamber. Normally, most of our trades are, one hit, one shot, one kill. But, today, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. But right now, we're still in this accumulation zone. This was a minor retest. I guess it didn't count. So now, if we are able to see price, push to the downside, great. But what I think we can likely see is we can see the market grab liquidity here. If the price grabs liquidity here or here, then we can see maybe a continuation to the downside, unless the market has no desire to actually push lower. And this just is a grab of liquidity, and more buyers want to come in and take out the high as well. Then that is going to be a day where it's not exactly fun to be in the market. So yeah, let's see. Let's see. Sometimes you still got to keep your cool when you're executing. But right now we are in this accumulation phase, right? And this is a better retest, but I want to make sure that the market doesn't just continue to stay in this zone or try to grab this liquidity. So I'm going to be a little bit more conservative. So my next shot at least can put something in my pocket for today. If not, then hey man, I walk away. I let it be. But yes, you can't win them all. This is what I'm waiting for in the hourly and 2-hour time frame. Okay, let's see. So right now we're retesting from this accumulation. The bearish momentum is fading, and it looks clean. This looks clean genuinely here. So okay, so for me now, I'm thinking, going on a sell trade. I just want to see how well. I think this could be a good opportunity. I just want to see if we can get. This is going to be my final. Okay. So I'm in on the sell, and this is, if sellers don't dominate, then this is it. So this is my second execution for today. I'm going to place my stop loss as close to this level as possible. So I'm going to place it at 41.08, this massive candlestick right here. Ideally, I'd love to place it at this high, and let's see what the market does. Let's see what price decides to do. If the market wants to stay in this range, anything can kind of happen right now. So right now, it's just a matter of whether the market wants to play ball or not. If it doesn't want to play ball, then, we're going to be in for a little bit of a, a pickle. It would be 2 losses, and that's okay. So it'll end our winning streak, but, it's okay. Some days you win, and some days, you lose. But first execution here, was taken out of this accumulation zone. The major question right now is if the market wants to grab liquidity right here. But we're bouncing off of this accumulation zone, and so far it's looking, it's looking good. It's just whether the market doesn't, if price wants to play ball or not. And right now the market's not really looking as smooth, but we're managing ourselves and managing our expectation. And let's see what price keeps doing here. So currently down, about $2,300 right now. And if we're able to get a bit of a drop, good. If not, then I think more buyers are going to come into the market, and price is going to move to the upside. So possibly sells sellers may not want to dominate today if we can't get that continuation. But in terms of this exact play, this blueprint right here, it was a pretty solid accumulation break, clean, clean break to the downside, nice, beautiful retest. And I think right now the market is just not playing. It's just not playing. It's just, it doesn't want to continue its move to the downside. And and yeah, if it continues to move up, then I think I'm not gonna look for sells today. I'm just probably just gonna let it be, and just take my L's and let it be. Let it be. But today's Wednesday, coming into the market, and we focused on our execution as cleanly and as best as we possibly could, and that's what we're gonna do again tomorrow. And that's what we did yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty solid day. We came into the market and we had, pretty nice runner. So whatever the market has in store for us today, we're going to take it as it comes. We're executing based on our plan, not based on, what we would like to see from the market, right? We're taking clean, clear setups. And if the market wants to play ball, it'll play ball. If it doesn't want to play ball, then we walk away and we say today's not our day. It's pretty much that simple. But coming into the market today, that's we had more of, we wanted to see a bit more of that bullish momentum. But right now we're seeing, sellers dominate. And right now, if we can get that push down, great. If not, we're going to be seeing more of a push to the upside. And I think right now that is what is going to that's what I'm probably gonna get taken out on this trade if it doesn't work out. If it doesn't work out. But that's the game. You can't win them all. And all you can do is keep executing and know when to walk away. So overall, this is it. I think Wednesday, so far has been has not been my day. There you go. So got taken out on my second, the market today. I don't think sellers have any interest. Yeah, 8 a.m. volume coming in. Yeah, 8 a.m. volume coming in. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think the market has any interest in actually moving lower today, because those were two perfect opportunities for it to do so. And this is a clean accumulation and distribution. And when the market doesn't follow suit, it usually means, either it wants to consolidate a little bit more, the market it's going to be choppier, or we're going to get price push up further into this range. But right now, this is a sell execution, but I'm not going to be executing. Yeah, but I'm not going to be executing the sell right now, because two sells, clean, waited patiently, clean close, retest, couldn't get a continuation. Retest, couldn't get a continuation. So do I feel bad for my loss? Not particularly. It does suck. But I think right now we're a bit more, kind of like Silver Grid says, we're seeing a little bit more of that manipulation take place today. And sometimes you can't beat it. If you get caught in it, the best thing that you can do is sit on the sidelines and just wait. And probably, I got one more in the chamber. I don't think I'm going to be shooting that shot because it doesn't seem like it's a worthwhile market. But hey, we'll let it be. We'll let it be and observe for a little bit. If a good opportunity comes, because my concern is this could all be a little bit of a liquidity grab here on the 15-minute time frame. These are still massive candlesticks, right? And we can see buyers continue to push to the upside, and all they simply wanted to do was grab the liquidity right here. Dennis, I believe you said this, we're seeing a correction on the 4-hour time frame. So we could also be seeing a correction right here, with price making higher highs and higher lows, right? So we could be seeing more buyers, wanting to push to the upside, as well. And I think that's right now a big part of this. But while we're in the middle of this accumulation zone, it's still tricky, right? But I think right now sellers don't want to. Sellers have no play. Sellers have no play. So this accumulation zone is likely not going to take price to the downside. It has more potential right now of being used as a liquidity grab, and price is going to trade up. So I'm going to be watching and waiting as we get closer into this range, and the market is willing to show that it wants to break above this level, then I can feel more confident going in. But as of right now, we're going to watch, we're going to wait and see what the market has in store for us. But yes, today, we come in and some days you come in, the market plays ball, and some days it gives you a whooping. Make sure your risk management is clean. Make sure your risk management is airtight, and don't beat yourself up, especially while you're still trading, because you need to focus on executing, right? And once you're done for the day, you're done for the day. But this is what I mean with November, where what you see is not what you get. It's not as clear right now. Just got into sells. Okay, cool, Sandy. Well, hopefully it works out. Micro sells. All right. Yeah, but this is So we're in this accumulation zone, and for me right now, unless the market wants to do a little bit of a deeper pullback, it's grabbed this liquidity here. It's also grabbed this liquidity here, and then now it's doing whatever it's doing. I'm not going in on a sell, because to me it's just like it shouldn't be that difficult to time the market, especially when momentum is important, is really critical right now. What we do have here is we have two highs, right? Or sorry, two lows right here. Higher high, higher low, higher high. So until the market is able to kind of change that overall structure, there's still a good chance that buyers could still come in, right? I see, Emmanuel, you marked previous highs and lows, previous days. Can you talk a little bit about that? Yes. Yeah. So the highs and the lows are, I wouldn't say I marked the previous highs, the previous day's high and the previous day's low. We don't always focus on that. But the highs and the lows are the most important part of your trading, right? This is where liquidity is residing. This is where the market is reaching for. So when buyers are in control, they're targeting the highs, right? So we had these highs mapped out, because if buyers wanted to come in, grab liquidity, they're going to grab this liquidity, and you can see the level of precision that they grab this liquidity with as well, right? And once they do that, it's kind of like they score points and they recenter themselves. So overall here, now, if we can see the market grab this low, that is going to tell us, hey, there's a more likelihood that the market is going to try to seek for maybe other lows that it wants to grab. But as of right now, we are focused on grabbing the highs, right? And this high is next. So based off of this fact alone, there's a strong likelihood that we could see a continuation to the upside. But right now, I want it to be a seller, because the signals for sells, are pretty much there. But you're going to get this when the market is not playing ball, like when the market condition or the month where price is not playing as cleanly, as it's a bit more choppy, it's a little bit more, I don't like to use the word manipulation, right? But where it's not as trending, it's not as clean, it'll consolidate a little bit, it'll chop a little bit, and then it'll explode, right? But timing is everything, and sometimes you could still be patient. So with gold right now, momentum is everything. So if you are putting a sell in, it's better to take a sell when there is that momentum. Right now, we have bullish momentum, right? So it doesn't make sense to be, even though we are in this accumulation zone, it doesn't make sense to get involved in a sell when there is, currently um, um, bullish momentum, right? So it's that would be the thing. Today is Dennis. Today is not our day. Yesterday was our day, man. I mean, who was closed the day with 10 grand or almost 10 grand in profit, and yeah, you guys took some profit, but I'm watching. I got one more position left. I haven't used taking. Not often I'll execute 3 trades, in one day. Um, but if the market does decide to play ball, it does decide to show and move well. Because if the market moves well, we're gonna make money. Because if you get it wrong on the downside and the market shows you wants to move up, if you listen to the market, you're gonna make money. The one where it doesn't work is when you when the market doesn't want to move lower, it gives you a signal for sell, you sell, and then when it gives you a signal for buy, you buy, and nothing happens. And it just wants to kind of consolidate. But right now, with what we currently have, I think there could be a possibility for more buyers to come into the market and really make that push. But while we're in this accumulation range, I don't want to take any chances in saying that buyers are going to come in without having that clear opportunity. Can't exactly see what was posted here. Okay, so so something that has to do with the news, right? It's not showing fully on the chat, but let's yeah. But right now we have strong bullish momentum, right? Strong bullish momentum, and that could be something, if the market wants to continue to push to the upside. I would love to see, maybe even just sellers, make an attempt to the downside, and then buyers come in, a little bit. That to me would signify a bit of a stronger flow. But what the market is doing right now is it is currently establishing its bullish push, right? Its bullish structure. So I personally think if you try to take price to the down to one particular side and it doesn't work twice, it is oftentimes it doesn't. It's either going to move in the opposite direction. So let's see. I'm giving it some time. I'm going to be a little bit more patient. I'm going to watch, and yeah, let's see. But yeah, man, I'd like to finish the week so far. Has been pretty good. It's been a pretty decent week. I want to see that continue and not let Thursday, Wednesday, take it all. But some days are going to be like that, But you got to come into the market again and focus on doing the same thing. How do you handle days with news at 8:30? A lot of time we wait until 8:30 if it's a major impact news. One of the most respected 8:30 news is CPI. CPI, it packs the most punch. I would not. I've done it in the past, but I try to refrain from getting in a trade. Um, at 8:30. When we have CPI coming out. So if we don't have CPI coming out, I'm usually pretty good. Just give me 1 second, guys. Perfect. Okay. So right there. Okay. So right now I think we're about to break, we're about to break higher into this range here. And the thing is, we're still in the center of this accumulation zone. So buying right now is very questionable. You know, it's very questionable. You know, it's very questionable. So I'm going to sit on the sidelines. I'm going to watch. The market is doing something, but it's taking its sweet time. It's really taking its sweet time to do it. So rather than getting caught again, it would be better to, just it would be better to let the market just do what it wants to do. 4,100 is a key level. Gold fought to break above it for some time, and it finally did. So I'm watching if it keeps holding and pushes price up. Great observation. Yeah, so that was so right there. So that's exactly where the market stopped, right? And but the thing is, accumulation and distribution is not just a strategy. It's price accumulated here, right? The market spent a lot of time accumulating here, accumulating here, accumulating here. Um, it doesn't do that by mistake. These are orders that came into the market, and when you get this first distribution right here, the next thing is timing the retest. You know, when you have the market wanting to do the retest, one, two, you know, a third time, then it gets annoying because the retest ideally is one. You know, you get that one retest and you see that main distribution. But sometimes in a choppier market condition, you're going to see things like this where, we're seeing a little bit of that. So I guess that right now it's just a little bit about patient, right? Being a bit more patient, seeing if we can get a nice clean setup. Accumulation zone is a danger zone, as I understand. No, not particularly. Accumulation zone is a zone that the market has spent time gathering orders, right? Accumulating. So the process of accumulating an item, or accumulating something. So oftentimes you're going to see the market, accumulate. Like 70% of the time, the market is usually in an accumulation zone, right? In case I do decide to, let's see here. In case I do decide to take some execution here, right there, we're looking pretty clean here. Yeah. So the process of accumulation is, when orders are coming into the market is accumulating, and price is, price then distributes, right? So orders come to the market, buyers and sellers are struggling to kind of gain that power, and it doesn't mean that there is no volume. It doesn't mean that the market is not decided where it wants to go. It's just orders coming in, waiting to be, distributed. So accumulation is not exactly a danger zone. It is an area that tells you who is likely going to dominate, especially, okay. So right there, guys, so right here, I think I'm going to go in on a buy. So I'm in on a buy here. This is so that buy, we've broken out of the zone. This is my last execution, for today. If it doesn't play out, I'm going to set my stop loss. I'm going to set my stop loss right down to this level. And if it doesn't play out, guys, then today was certainly not our day, as Dennis says. I'm going to place my stop loss just shy of slightly at this low right here, 43. Let's just give it like 43 pep there. Go over here. Okay. So I'm going to place my stop loss right there. So 41. I'm anticipating a big push to the upside, and because that's how the market is capable of breaking out of accumulation zones. If we don't get that, we get a little bit of that pullback, then the market is going to do its thing. So this market is currently very tricky right now. In terms of this current market condition, it is not the most friendly, but you have to be very, very patient with it. And you have to be patient with yourself because that's just it. Like, you can't force the market to give you something. Right? It doesn't care what you want. So you just have to be patient and execute as best as you can and try to carry on with your day if the market doesn't play ball, right? But don't internalize anything. And if the market wants to move, great. If it doesn't want to move, hey man, there's nothing you can do. Come back another day and you get paid. So overall now, it's just, if we can see the market push up. If it doesn't, then today's not my day, guys. Today is not my day. Can't force it. Can't make anything happen. But yeah, But if the market does break above here, I think we're going to be seeing a nice, beautiful run to the upside. If price comes back down here, then it is what it is, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen. So that is every November so aggressive? No, not particularly. Even November right now is not currently aggressive. It's just because gold right now is making new all-time high. So it's costing a bit more to play, right? A normal market condition, when everything is good from an economic standpoint globally, there's not a lot of people who are pushing your capital into one particular market. It's going to cost a bit more to be involved, and I think that's why gold right now is so volatile. But generally, November, as we start to get closer to the Christmas like time, it could be a bit more on the choppier side. It could be, it could be on the choppier side, at least either November or October. But October this year was really good. We literally had came into the market, traded 3 days at the very minimum, and had one losing trade. Not even one losing day, one losing trade. Pretty much all done live. So that just tells you, it's like, okay, when the market is fluid, it's moving well. But today, it's I don't think today. I don't think it's gonna play, man. I don't think it's gonna play. So this is my last one. If the market doesn't give me something, for today, then I just walk away. I take my licks and let price do whatever it wants to do. But it's Wednesday. We do have FOMC coming out later, and I think that could also, be having some sort of impact in why the market condition today is so shit. Price action is actually better now. Summer months are usually rough. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Do you trade live? Yes, trade live not every morning. We trade live 3 times a week for those of you asking in the Live for FX private community. And then, we do one live on YouTube. And we're going to be doing more of that. So yeah, this is crazy. So came into the market here, and I'm pretty sure I got taken out here. Well, it hasn't hit my stop loss yet, surprisingly. Market might still be grabbing liquidity here, but I do suspect that there's going to be a good chance that the market is going to be continuing to move to the downside. And very close to SL. Price is not playing ball. It's very choppy right now. So I'm going to let it be. And if I get taken out from here, that's it for me. I'll just walk away, and can't force it. But today is certainly not my day. And that's it. I think that's it for me. That's it. Yeah. So got taken out there. Crazy day. Crazy day. So what did I do? Let's see. Take that back. Download image. Okay. Yeah, so came into the market today. Price was a bit more on the choppier side. staying in this accumulation zone, and I think whatever reason, whether it wants to continue to move down, great. But I have no more interest in dealing with it. I shot my maximum amount of trades for today, and normally, we don't need to do that. But this is it. It sucks, and I feel like goddamn, goddamn. But silver grid, I think market's still accumulating and will open, at 9:30. It's crazy because yesterday we were done our session by 8:30, right? 8:30, we came to the market, boom, got a big one, and we were done. Less than an hour. Today, we spent an hour into the market and we came out with nothing. And that's the game. Some days you win some days you lose some. But we'll be back here again tomorrow, and we're gonna see what the market has in store. But right now, I would say FOMC is coming out at about 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if you are trading during that time, just be mindful, be cautious, and try to manage your overall risk as best as you can, because that's the most important thing, right? If you're gonna lose, it's not bad, right? You don't want to lose, of course, but making sure that you're not losing more than what's in your game plan for the day. If you come into the market, you take your 2 losses, 3 losses, whatever the case, or your 1 loss, and you walk away, that's a good day. Tomorrow, hopefully, you get some profit. That's an even better day. But losing it all, and trying to get it back, trying to revenge trade, that does not keep you in the game long term. So right now, with current gold market, I think there's a little bit of a correction that's definitely taking place, and maybe we could see more sellers continue to move, or buyers could come in and aim for these higher targets. But today, in the New York session, I don't think the market right now is kind of playing friendly. It's not, and maybe with this accumulation zone, we could still see a little bit of that push to the downside. But I am done. I am tired of it. And market gave me, I would say since October, this is probably the first time, we've had 3, probably since September, three trades, in a session. So it's okay, but let's see what tomorrow brings. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. It's ranging for sure. Do you trade gold every day, or is there? Yeah, I mainly trade gold every day for the most part. Right, we trade gold. That's usually it. So, what's your strategy? My strategy is market structure, price action. That's usually the most important thing. That's what we do. So, price action, accumulation, and distribution is the strategy, as well. But today, the market has decided to give us a crazy retest. So retest here, retest here, and also retest here, and before it continues to move to the downside. So maybe we could see more sells, but to be honest, I didn't trust this market condition coming into the market today, and I still left the day not trusting it. So this is it. Great live, informative, honest, and productive. What days do you trade live on your YouTube or in your community? Community, we trade live. We have a live session on Monday, which is a pre-market session, and it's not hosted by myself. It's hosted by another trader, Andrew. Great trader, also great analyst as well. And then Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I am live in the community, and so Wednesday we're live on YouTube. It's kind of unfair because if I have a losing day on YouTube, it does stay. But hey, you guys got to see the loss. You guys got to see it. But in the community, we definitely have a lot more winning days. And if you join the community, you'll be able to see our past streams and our winning streaks, and kind of you are able to watch previous recordings of our live sessions as well. So lots and tons of value and tons of great people to connect with. I don't trade crypto. No, I don't trade crypto. That is, no crypto for me. But yeah, mainly gold, and if you trade futures as well, you can definitely trade gold. But ladies and gentlemen, this is it for me. The market today did not play ball, so we'll be back here again tomorrow. Thank you guys, for watching, and I hope you guys are out there living free. God bless.